It's typhoon season in the Philippines, where Manny Pacquiao is preparing for next month's WBC light middleweight fight against Antonio Margarito. Now, the reason that Mike Costello, our boxing commentator, isn't with us tonight, he's in the Philippines, also contending with the rain and the wind, but he's sent back this exclusive interview with Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, who has a warning ahead of November the 13th.
It's getting to me because I'm worried about the fight a little bit because we're fighting a bigger, stronger guy. This guy's going to be in great shape. And we haven't had the best training camp we've ever had. We're a little behind schedule, which is very unusual. I'm not sure if it's the size of the sparring partners that's giving him trouble, or he's just not himself yet. And it's getting better and better every day, but it's coming a lot slower than usual. I'm used to Manny Pacquiao, after the first day of sparring, I say he could fight 12 rounds tomorrow. I can't say that at this point of the camp, but we do have 2 hard weeks coming up of sparring, and then the third week coming is our taper off week where we start slowing down and saving it for the fight. We're supposed to go down to Manila on Wednesday, sparring Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Manila, and then hit LA on Saturday. But with this typhoon, I'm a little concerned. This is my second time here with typhoons. The first time I said, we got to leave, and nobody believed me. And then one typhoon came and got us twice, and the third typhoon came along. I mean, it was well over 1,000 people died in typhoon. So it is real. And the thing is, and we'd all like to say, it's not going to hit us because maybe we think we're special or something like that, but that's not true. So on Sunday, we had a chance to get out of here before the typhoon came. I would like to get to Manila where the airport is. If it came, we get on a plane and go home and finish our training camp. But every Filipino that I spoke to, they look at the sky and say, oh, it's not coming. So I said, what about the weatherman or the U.S. Navy who gave us the report? I said, don't you believe them? Don't worry about it. So they have that. If it comes, they deal with it. So that's what we're doing. It's here. It's raining hard. We're dealing with it. Will the roads get blocked with the mudslides like last time? We got stuck here for 6 days. That could be chaotic, of course, in training camp. But one thing, it doesn't matter if the typhoon's here or not here, or rain, mudslides. We still will not miss a day of training.
You said Manny's slightly behind at this stage compared to where he would normally be. Is that because of his concentration on congressional duties as well as boxing?
I believe that has to have something to do with it. After the first couple of days of training, Manny came up to me and he said, I miss my job. And I looked at him and I says, you're at your job. He says, no, I miss Congress. And I said, wow. I said, and he was serious. And I said, you know what? We're going to lose him to politics for sure someday soon.
Well, that was Freddie Roach talking to Mike Costello in the Philippines. Well, it's interesting what Freddie Roach is saying about Manny Pacquiao. He wants to be a politician. He wants to sit there and, not be in the box. I can't understand it.
Yeah, he's so popular, it's ridiculous. He's probably, to quote a Mickey Duff phrase, he's more popular than the Pope in the Philippines. He's a real popular kid, a real likeable kid. I wished I was over there doing an interview with Pacquiao because he's a real throwback to the sport and great for the sport. And Freddie Roach is absolutely right. He probably will lose him to politics because obviously there has to be life after the sport, and that's what Pacquiao wants, and he can probably run for presidency and win it hands down.
Okay, Steve, sorry, I'm going to ask you to respond to what Duke said in a second, but half-time Eastlands, Peter Slater. Thanks, Peter. So, Steve, Manny Pacquiao, I mean, it's interesting. Duke says, he's an intelligent guy, he's got his life sorted out in the future, and we've had enough conversations on this programme about boxers who don't see a life beyond boxing. But, I mean, how much will boxing miss him?
Oh, well, it'll miss him immensely because he's been involved in some of the biggest fights, and potentially next year he could fight Floyd Mayweather in what would be the biggest or the richest grossing fight, as they say. Now, he did run unsuccessfully for Congress 2 years ago, but he did run successfully for Congress earlier this year. He is actually a congressman out there, and which puts him one up on both the Klitschkos, who have both tried unsuccessfully to run for mayor of Kiev, which is what they will do when they retire. They've said one of the Klitschkos will be the president of the Ukraine, and Pacquiao will will be, as Duke said, the president of the Philippines. That's fantastic. That's cool stuff. He's enormous, this guy, but you could hear a little bit of sadness in Freddie's voice because he wasn't joking, and I love the way he told that story to Mike there. I mean, Freddie and Mike go back an awful long way. You know, when he said, we can just imagine Freddie saying, "But Manny, this is your job," and him going, "No, Freddie, Congress," and I tell you, I'd love to have been eavesdropping on that one. I know Mike was. Mike sent me texts from the Philippines, and he's just like a boy. He's like an 11-year-old boy giving his first football. He's so excited about being out there in the middle of all these guys.
Yeah. So will we ever see the fight against Mayweather?
Yeah, it has to happen for boxing reasons. It will be, as Steve said, you know, it'll be the richest grossing fight of all time. So the fight has to happen. Pacquiao's not about to retire before he gets Mayweather, and vice versa. Mayweather's a real cute cookie. He's going to wait until probably Pacquiao gets beat, and then the fight will be on. You know, Pacquiao's got a tough fight coming up in his next fight. Antonio Margarito. It's not an easy fight for Pacquiao, and it is one I believe he could lose.
Well, the interview that you just heard is from a special 2-part documentary on Manny Pacquiao to be broadcast on the BBC World Service in November. More details and a taste of an exclusive interview with Pacquiao's Filipino coach on the next 5 Live Boxing on November the 11th. And